Hello there, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, all of whom are loved and welcomed in this space. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Bibliotheque of Boba Fett, the only Book of Boba Fett focused discussion show hosted by the Imperial Senate Podcast. I'm your host, Charlie Ashby, and joining me, as always, is Master Assassin Claire Stribling, who is back from her COVID cornucopia. What do you call that? Your little room that you get.
I called it a den of plague, is what I called it.
Did you have a red X on your door?
No, I did not, but I should have gotten myself one of those. I do, no, all joking, aside, I definitely want a plague doctor mask at some point in my life, like an actual cool one.
You do know that if you buy one, you do have to do what they do and put flowers and nice smells in the mask of it.
I have to. That's the rule. I have to keep flowers in it at all times, even if I'm not wearing it.
Well, how are you going to fend off against miasma?
That's true. That's true.
Don't just joke around and buy a plague mask. You got to take it seriously, you know.
Oh, of course. Sorry, my bad.
Poke the bodies. Make a plague pit.
Make a plague pit.
Cool fact: if you're in London, you can there's a cool map made of plague pits. So if you want to know if you're standing over a group of hundreds of dead plague victims, you can do that by visiting this London Death Map, I think it's called. It tells you where the pits are. I grew up near one, apparently.
London is wild, man. Was it haunted? Was your ass haunted all the time?
Yeah, you have no idea. I've got the terrifying. Did we talk about this on?
Actually, I think we did.
Dark?
We've talked ghost stories. Yeah, we did.
Listen to After Dark on our Patreon.
Spooky stories. Ooh.
We haven't really. Did I tell you I saw a ghost last night?
No, you didn't.
So for people watching this, we're recording on the 13th, but yesterday was the 12th, and it was my birthday. So yeah, I'm 26 now, which means I have to grow up.
Who says that?
Anyway. Yeah, back to being an adult. While I was building this bad boy, this beautiful slow one, I was building this at about 2 in the morning. I was half asleep now, and I was going, yawning. And in the corner of my eye, I saw someone come in, and my mum fell asleep on the couch. So I was like, oh, it's my mum just coming into the kitchen to, maybe just get a glass of water or something. And I said, oh, are you okay? And I turned, no one there. And it was in my peripheral vision, it was a person walking past, all black, just walking past. But so many weird stuff has happened to my family in terms of weird coincidences like that, where anyone else would be spooked out by that. I was like, oh, they're probably saying happy birthday.
The ghosts are wishing me a happy birthday. Totally normal things
might be
to not be bothered by. Could be. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, that's my immediate thought, as opposed to some random fucker who's like, happy birthday. Cheers. John.
Cheers, John.
But yeah, a really good birthday gift I got was episode 3 of the Book of Boba Fett.
Yes.
What were your immediate thoughts before we dive in?
I'm gonna be honest with you. My immediate thoughts on the episode was that most of it I blanked out. Everything, basically everything before and after we had Rancor doggo moments. I had to watch it another time to be okay, let's make sure I've processed the rest of this episode. Yeah, I haven't enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as last week's. I have, a couple issues, but for the most part, I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. We are slow build to Bubble's about to get burst here in a week or so, I think, with all these pikes arriving on Tatooine. So exciting stuff's on the horizon. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. So,
but yeah, me too. The second Rodriguez episode, but probably the most Rodriguez episode out of all of it. It just felt very much imbued with his energy, very much Spy Kids, a lot of it. The craziness of it all, which I really liked as well. And I think works really well in Star Wars. I saw some people saying that he's a bad director and stuff. And I was like, I don't think that's the case. I thought this was a really fun episode. I think it was a bit short. We'll get into the the nitty gritty of it all, like what we didn't like, and of course, it's the big talking point for this week in terms of like Star Wars Twitter and very relevant and great pieces from people that are better than us about speaking about these sort of things, especially with native voices. So we'll try our best. For me, if I don't seem as like angered by the big thing, I am like not a big fan of it. But if you've heard the show, you know that I've been expecting this for like the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I wasn't as like shocked that this was going to happen. You know, it's one of those moments where like this sucks, but also I was right. So,
like, if you guys haven't watched the reaction video up, or if you haven't watched it yet, my reaction to it is basically just, no, I didn't want that. Like, it's very deadpan when I was watching it for the first time, because my thought was, this is not what I wanted. This is not it. Like, and sorry, it's gonna not be as exciting of a reaction in that moment of like, oh no, that it was literally like disappointment that it went this way, and
your reaction was a little bit
disappointment
weird,
with them
though.
being gone. Why am I being weird?
Because you did this, you went. And then you ran off, and then you went up to an old man and went, "I will go with you to Alderaan." Sorry, that's a really bad Skywalker.
Wow.
Teach me the way to the forest, please.
That was pretty bad.
Okay. Give me 50 quid. I thought it was really, really a big moment in that episode. We've got a lot to talk about in that sequence, but we'll get there. Let's start off at the beginning. Per usual, we grouped all our talking points into specific topics. We've done our best to keep them in chronological order, but we might bounce around whenever we want because fuck it.
It's us.
Life is short. But yeah, talking point 1 is, how much can a bottle of water cost, Michael? Just gotta leave that out there. Thank you. Yeah, really fun opening. We got a little sort of meeting of the group, the A team, as it were. You know, you got the 2 Gamorreans, who I like to call Bill and Ted. We've got Boba, Fennec, and our boy 88.
88.
Which I don't know if you're a fan of Matt Berry, like I am. Just the best voice they could have picked for that. Have you ever watched What We Do in the Shadows?
So I've seen only a couple episodes, but I do know who he is, and he's very funny.
Yeah, so, loved him for years. Obviously, he's bigger over here because like IT Crowd. One of my favorite all-time shows, which is it's a travesty that it never got a second series, but I think it finally came out in America last year, or at least got attention, which is Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, one of the funniest fucking shows of all time. One of my tweets from like a few years ago was that episode 9 feels like a whole Garth Marenghi episode, and that's me being as a compliment, kind of. Just really funny, but yeah, really great to see him. Also, he's got this very funny character called Stephen Toast, and there's a show called Toast of London where he plays this actor, and they brought back the series for a new season, and it came out just this year, like I think January or maybe like the end of December, and because it's like really popular in America, like it's got a lot of American talent in this one. Like it's about going to LA, so he goes to LA. The whole premise is that he's got a role in the Star Wars film. It's like in the trailer, it's like,
oh my
I've got a role in the Star Wars film. And then when we've heard the voice, it was like, oh my God, that's perfect.
He got a role in a Star Wars show.
He did, yeah. It's just, yeah, brilliant.
Oh
I think Bill Hader was in that episode.
Does that break the NDA? Does that break? I don't know.
Nah, it doesn't count. Just, you know, sometimes it works out. Also, yeah, if you like Garth Marenghi, there's 2 members of the cast that have been cast as droids in The Mandalorian section of the Star Wars universe. You've got
Which
Richard
is so awesome.
And Matt Berry, which means we've got 2 more to go. But yeah, pretty cool sequence with like the mapping, talking about the different parts of Tatooine and the way that
good
the structure
old-fashioned exposition.
Maintained. Oh, I love exposition. I saw people
too.
complain about Eternals, and I watched it for the first time today, and I was like, this shit's great. I love exposition. If it's done well and it's like visually entertaining and emotionally cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't get the exposition hating in more so in Eternals, because I'm like, that is fascinating. You're not enjoying this story that they're telling you as they're giving it you exposition. That is fascinating. They're biblical times doing cool
Big
stuff with the
robot man.
people. There's crazy stuff. Go watch Eternals
Very
and
good.
enjoy that. Just hey, this is like a good idea for watching Eternals, but also for watching every new
Anything.
episode of this show or any other thing before you go on Twitter is sit back and just take in the story before you react. Like, let the story be the story, and then we'll assess. Okay.
I'm sure there was like a little weird light that went past your screen a second ago.
It was a ghost.
Yeah. Can someone clip this? If there's a ghost there, we've proved the ghost live on the show. That's incredible.
Oh my God.
This is why we're the best Star Wars podcast. We prove ghosts exist. We talk about
paranormal experience.
Talk about the show that we're talking about. But no, yeah, you're completely right. It's literally the Yoda speech. Take in there what you take with you.
Exactly.
You get, you're a pessimist, you're going to take pessimism.
It's not that hard. If you go in saying, I'm not going to like it, probably won't.
And then we have this villager from Mos Espa coming to have a go at Boba Fett by saying that a group of kids with cybernetic implants have been stealing water from him. He's not none too keen about that, so he asked Boba Fett to help out. And then we have this really interesting opening sequence where we go from, it's a shame that Boba Fett hasn't got much of a squad, to him literally becoming Zordon from Power Rangers.
Yes! I love that you call him Zordon. I was just thinking of him as like benevolent stepdad. He's just stepdad into these kids. He's like, and also I would not like, okay, if you think of my preseason like checklist of what I would expect to see in this show, Boba Fett trying to fix the socioeconomic inequality, not something that I thought I would see in this show, but now we have like Boba Fett telling this man to keep his prices down, like bribing him, and he's like, they're like, well, we're from the workers district, but there's no work. It's like, then I will give you jobs. Like, it's amazing.
It's cool.
Like, it's just like, look at you, Boba Fett, fixing society as a whole. Like, every little step counts, baby. You're doing great. Oh,
I'm telling you, there's a little bit of red in that armor.
A little bit.
Communism, baby.
Boba Fett is not a capitalist.
We've seen him dig for stuff.
True. We have seen him dig for stuff.
He's the ultimate, yeah. I joke. The Zordon thing is funny because someone, I can't remember who did it on Twitter, because someone replied to my thread. It might be our good friend 1138. I'm not quite sure, but they said something that made me laugh out loud, because it's like, because I was like, well, why do people keep saying these kids are Power Rangers? And they went, to be fair, he is a bald, injured man in a blue tube ordering colourful kids to do stuff for him.
It's true.
I was like, you've got a point there.
It's true.
We introduced the Sophie Thatcher's character, who is a badass, like Joan Jett, basically, in Star Wars. It's really good. There's another one. There's another hair floating past.
Oh, that's totally what it is. It's a cat hair. I'm sorry. I haven't vacuumed in a while.
I'm not going to judge you. That's like, am I going crazy?
It's not a ghost. It's a hair. I'm sorry to debunk your paranormal theories,
we don't know
my
that.
friends.
It might be the ghost of a cat hair.
A ghost of a cat hair. Sure.
Whatever makes.
I'm looking at the culprit right over here.
You know what they say. But yeah, really cool. Really cool opening sequence. And I don't know about you, but I really appreciated what they did this week that was different. Did you notice that?
What they did this week that was different in the opening sequence?
Yeah, they changed the title card.
I know where you're.
What do they owe you?
1,300 credits.
For water?
1,300 credits?
Give them 500.
Why, they owe 1,300.
I heard you the first time. Take the 500 and consider it resolved. If you want to continue to do business in my territory. If you don't like it, you move to Mos Eisley.
Fine.
And cut your prices. Rest of you gather up your gack, follow me.
You want to work or not?
It was a crossover I was not expecting to see, Claire.
Honestly, me either. Me either.
I'm sorry, that's the first thing I thought when I saw Stephen Root appearing in the show. I was like,
It's so funny because I love Barry and I love that show so much. But the thing, this poor man, this poor talented man, who I think is great and I enjoy him in everything he's in. The one thing that always pops into my head is dodgeball. That's literally
oh, yeah, you're right.
I should think Barry because that's a much more nuanced performance in that. No, I think dodgeball. That poor man is stuck with dodgeball. Hell for
Well,
love.
the reason why I thought of Barry first was because I was like, if you fuck with him, like he knows about it himself. He will
Yeah.
come back. Can you imagine if Barry just appears in this?
I would
It's like
cry.
reading lines and tattooing like in the cantina.
Hey, Boba Fett.
The king is dead.
The king is dead.
That sequence is so good. If you haven't watched Barry, watch Barry on HBO.
It's so good.
So fucking good.
It'll mess your life up, but it's so good.
Could you imagine if we got NoHo Hank, but as like a bounty hunter?
Shut
Like he was
up.
like a wee
Don't.
kid or something.
Don't.
Hey, Boba. I really like this new throne you've got.
Oh no. I
Can you
need
make
it
that happen?
now. I
Yeah, we
hate
need
that I need it now.
We need it.
I love NoHo Hank. So
He's the
good.
best.
He's the best thing ever.
One of the craziest characters.
Yoo-hoo.
It's me, NoHo Hank.
It's me.
I know that.
We know. We've met before. I know it's you.
You're wearing a wig. Look at my hair. But yeah, really interesting, like you said, to see Boba Fett not just changing. Not just being there to control power, like we said before. He's there to actually help and bring change, and bring some. We see this like last week with the Tuscans. He wants to have equality in terms of like the water, sharing it out. I'm sure he knows a lot about not having water in the desert, and it fucking sucks.
True that.
So he's there to bring back equality, stop people from abusing power. And of course, people won't like that, which we do see in this episode as well. Speaking of which, we go to a little bit of a flashback. We see him in the tube, and we have Mos Eisley and the ritual burial. So first of all, we have a little opening shot with them, the Tuscans, seeing Boba go off on his little journey on the Bantha in these classic season 2 Mandalorian get up.
So good.
You gonna say
And
something?
he's going, oh no, what I was going to say is the thing that I loved so much about that sequence was the music in combination with how not in a hurry that Bantha is. It's just so good. It's such a long trek, and they're just like, I'm chilling, I'm riding, I'm just enjoying the scenery, enjoying my Dune Sea scenery here. It was just like, I'm just like, I love that you are going on the slowest, longest trek ever. A lot of slow stuff happening in this episode. I'm like, wait, no, that Bantha cannot be bothered, and that is what I love. That's what I love about Bantha.
I was about to do like a little. I was gonna say, well, you know all about riding a Bantha, but I feel like that's an insult.
I'm just saying, on these speeders, gonna ride like a Bantha. I cannot believe. Have you seen how many people have seen that TikTok now, Charlie?
Yeah, I've had to interact with some of the people. Fantastic.
Oh, you don't do that.
Oh,
See,
I
I'm
do.
glad that I feel like for the most part, the one thing I have liked about TikTok, go follow us on TikTok.
Oh yeah, we got
Um,
TikTok. If you haven't
we got a
noticed,
TikTok now,
we went
and
viral,
yeah, we went viral on TikTok, and it was
semi-viral.
ridiculous. It was so stupid, and that's the nice thing about TikTok is that people go on TikTok for the most part expecting stupid energy. So when they get it, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's what I came here for." For the most part, I found that's pretty much true.
My favorite thing was seeing people do their own ones, like little stitches.
I love it. Oh my god, there was one guy who had like a Superman bathrobe on, which I'm like, first of all, I want that bathrobe. Second of all, he was like, if you had told me that I would be doing a TikTok dance video, I would have thought you were lying at laughing emojis. And he was doing the dance. I'm like, yes.
It's pretty cool.
Like, I can't dance. Clearly, I cannot dance. Please just like embrace it. Like, it's fun. Like, I'm so happy that people are having fun with it. That's all I wanted was for people to have like half a chuckle and move on, or to have fun with it. So makes me happy.
Well, that's good then. Yeah, and if you want to follow us on TikTok, it is just search the Imperial Senate Podcast, and you will find us. And you've got some funny
Yes.
videos. I made a few stupid edits myself. Did a little Luke Skywalker edit. for
I've got
episode
some
2.
coming up as well. I got some new stuff coming soon.
Claire's
It'll
got
be
some cool
fun.
stuff, and we'll be if you're coming from the TikToks, we'll be clipping bits of these. So if you have come from TikTok, hello, thank you for watching
Hi.
us. We hope we don't let you down. But yeah, all our links should be on our website as well, so don't worry about that.
Yep.
But yeah, really fun little flashback. We see him going to Mos Eisley, which is the first time we've seen that for a little bit since season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Mhm.
We see them putting the stormtrooper helmets on spikes for the first time, which I thought was really cool. Like, we get to actually see them do that.
And
Yes, our good friend Pelimoto. Is it Pelimoto?
Pelimoto and her
Pelimoto.
pit droid crew. Oh my god. One of the things that I love about Pelimoto is that she's Amy Sedaris, and the other thing I love about Pelimoto is how bothered by her other people are.
Yeah.
It just makes me laugh that people get so worked up over her, and it just makes me love her more. Like, your anger feeds me. It gives me power. So seeing her in the background, I was like, yay.
Her being in the background to me feels like she might make another appearance in the series, maybe
I
next
would
week.
freak out. I love her. I love her so much.
But also, I saw people like over the year like saying, "Yeah, she's back in Book of Boba Fett," and I really want this to be the only appearance she has, just to mess with people.
Yeah.
Because I'm Pei and I am chaotic energy. Energy I'm going to be giving this year.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be funny if like if Captain Rex appears for like 5 seconds. Like,
big chaotic evil energy coming from
Right.
the Imperial Senate Podcast.
Per usual. Yeah, we see him deal with the Pike Syndicate, who are then blaming the riders for getting involved and paying off. So I was like, fuck's sake, I came all this way for no fucking reason. That's my reading of the scene.
I think so. He's pretty good at keeping his temper down, but I'm sure that bothered him. But he's also very much the kind of guy who's like, okay, I'm gonna go fix problems where they're at.
This
I'm
could
just
have
gonna
been
not-
an email.
It's gonna per my last email. No, the other thing that I loved about it was that other thing I noticed, which is something that when it happens in shows, I just think it's the best. And it usually happens in some sort of like gangster related scene or some sort of power struggle related scene where like the big boss of somebody says, "Come on in, have a seat." And the person proceeds to not sit. I don't know why, but every time it just tickles me in a little silly place. I'm just like, that's right, Boba, you stand.
Yeah, it's like a power
stand up.
move.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not going to be here long. I'm not going to mess with you. I'm done. Like,
and that, I'll tell you what, that Pike knew how to sip a cup. I'll tell you that.
True.
He was like,
true. Please do not inhale. You know, you're going to like aspirate Coca-Cola and it's not.
I inhaled
it's not
Coke last night.
Charlie's
party
snorting
goer.
Coca-Cola on the podcast.
And then we have the very scene that I predicted. I'll say this right. If there's a banner that can appear that says Charlie was right, please do play that with a little bit of music. No, but surprising nobody, the Tuscans were wiped out by the gang, which is a source of contention, I feel like, for a lot of people. Naturally, this is a trope in media of the classic natives becoming friends with the natives and then being wiped out with only the outsider there to get revenge. It's there as a plot piece to basically enforce revenge or some sort of storyline for the people, and you don't necessarily have to do that. Maybe you could subvert those expectations or subvert those tropes. It didn't happen in this case, and I can understand and appreciate why people are upset and mad about that.
And for me personally, because it's the trope, and it's because we've done this before. We've been here. We've bought a t-shirt. There's no surprise to it.
Yeah.
It also, as much as I loved the Tuscans, as much as I loved the last episode with him getting more ingrained into the tribe and becoming and like basking in the weird and beautiful Tuscan culture and nose lizards and gaffy sticks and dancing, which was so wonderful, and it was just so cool. Celebration of native culture, like because it's something that we've seen so many times, it doesn't, like, for your storytelling as well, I don't think it carries as much weight, which is such a waste. Like, at the end of the day, I think that it was such a waste of what could have been very interesting storytelling by doing it a different way, but also because we've seen it before, it's like it loses power in a sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm still emotionally drawn to the story because of the way that
I was too.
Like with Boba, like it's a found family, so naturally, like even if it wasn't the Tuscans, if it was someone else, I would imagine that we would get killed. But I appreciate, obviously, I'm a white dude, just to put that out there, in case you didn't know. I'm a white cis British dude. I don't think I have any fucking right to talk about how people of color or indigenous people should feel, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Considering that we fucked up most of the world. But just from my point of view, like I appreciate this. Like I read this, I saw the story, I knew it was coming. I'm sure that what will happen was that we'll see some sort of redemption arc in terms of him fixing Tatooine or helping Tatooine, and from now on, hopefully, stories with Tuscans will be a bit more forward thinking.
Yeah.
But you didn't need to have this to do that, and it doesn't erase the deaths. I don't want to say that it does. Like I can appreciate people, and I know that people want more people of color in the writing rooms, which I completely agree with, because there's no such thing as forced diversity in that regard. I feel like it just naturally more people of color, more people like of different backgrounds in writing rooms can only be a net positive, just by the nature of how stories are told in different cultures and the way that we, different perspectives. It's like having a prism, like if you have just one glass and you're just putting light through it, you're just going to have the same light come through. But if you have a prism with different perspectives and different shades, put a light through that, and you get like 5 different bits of story to tell. I lost that metaphor at the end.
That's okay. No, it's totally true though, because like, for example, the ray of light is this group of people looking at one specific situation. If you come from different cultures and different perspectives, you are going to see that one event in thousands of different ways if you have different cultures and different perspectives, like, and different looks on life. That's cool. And that's fascinating, because getting to peek behind someone else's way of thinking is fascinating for storytelling. It can only help your storytelling, and also makes it so everybody has a voice, and so everybody can be represented. Come on now, like, obviously white women here, like, not here to be a shocker.
Okay, guys, we have to quit. I'm ending the show.
I know it's not good, but having that original Wonder Woman movie, well, not original Wonder Woman, but having the Patty Jenkins first Wonder Woman movie hit theaters was super emotional for me. Seeing something like seeing yourself depicted in your heroes and depicted in the mainstream is like, it's powerful. It's so powerful. And guess what? There's so many people that have not been seen in a way other than a plot device. And that's just sad. So
I remember when I watched my
let's
first
not do
Charlie
that.
Chaplin movie, and I just thought, I relate to that idiot. No, it's
Yeah,
true.
it doesn't mean I didn't like the episode. Like that's the other thing too.
Yeah, that's
is
the weird.
You can
criticisms.
critique parts of the episode and still enjoy the item as a whole. I think that it's unfair that we have to be like shaming each other for liking the whole thing, even if I agree with you that I don't like the one thing. Like, can we be okay that I like this whole part? Overall, we give a thumbs up, even though I didn't like that. We don't have to be all or nothing. The world is shades of gray.
Yeah,
like
people
let's
complaining about a lack of diversity and like the way that this was done, doesn't mean they hate people.
no,
Doesn't mean
absolutely
they're
not.
angry at people, and vice versa. Like people that enjoy the episode aren't pro murdering Tuscans.
Yeah.
No one's said that. I'm just saying, like, that's the ludicrous of the flip around. Like, if you're saying
Yeah.
that opposite, it just makes no sense. I
Yeah.
feel like, sometimes you gotta have criticisms for this sort of thing.
Absolutely. We need to take our media critically and be mindful of where certain plot devices come from historically. We need to be able to sit and check why things have been done this way.
Yeah.
And realize the root cause of all of that might not be a good one.
And
Doesn't
again,
mean like,
I
it
completely,
doesn't.
I completely recommend following people of different cultures and different backgrounds on Twitter and other websites, because you will find different voices speaking out, and it will affect the way that you think. There's a few voices that, I was like, oh, I didn't actually think about that, and now I'm going to think about it on the way forward. And like we had
It
with Seth
expands the
last
way
week,
you view the world. It really does.
pronouncing I tried this really hard this week. Maori. I think I did it. Maori. Yeah, I tried. Rolled the R. We have got a clip of Demora Morrison saying it, and we share that. So, but we tried our best, to learn and push forward. And I think what's really interesting is just the idea that if you don't follow those voices and you get outraged by it, just listen.
You might
for a
not
bit,
understand why.
You might not understand. But at the same time, it's okay to enjoy things as well. Like, but people having an issue with it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it either.
Yeah.
They're not saying that. They're just giving valid criticisms, and I'm sure that will be reflected in Star Wars in the future.
It's amazing to have nuanced opinions on media. It doesn't have to be you don't have to be all or nothing. We can appreciate what's good and critique what we don't appreciate as much. And that's
I'm on Twitter. I have one personality, and that is to do things. And if it is not the same, it's ridiculous.
I like
a cesspool. Let's burn it.
Yeah, it's Twitter. Y'all gotta quit raising my blood pressure beyond what is healthy. Because there's been points where I've just been sitting here like, ooh, I feel the rushing through my veins. I am ready to, the adrenaline is pumping. I'm ready to fight a Chrysanthemum. Not really. I'll not be. Certainly not lubed up and in my underwear like Boba.
Sorry, what?
But, what?
What did you say?
Like, my adrenaline was pumping. I was ready to fight a Chrysanthemum, a black Chrysanthemum.
Oh, all I had was black Chrysanthemum and then lubed up. And I was like,
yeah, well,
where's this going? Oh, the back. Okay.
He was literally in his underwear and completely lubed up fighting a bear. I love Star Wars.
I just didn't.
In his underwear, lubed up fighting a bear with a team of colorful teens.
See, the way I view back here, it's just like a bath. So when you said lubed up, I was like,
He was, oh, come on, he was slippery. Oh, I always viewed it as being a little viscous, like a little oily almost, but like somewhere in between oil and water. That's how I picture my back to. I don't know. Maybe this is me.
what like hand gel?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like hand sanitizer consistency, except it doesn't, yeah.
Quarantining Fennec. Be right back. Yeah, ridiculous. Oh my god! But all I heard was underpants lube. I was like, this is a really weird show we're doing right now. I'm like, okay, I'll go follow.
He's in his underwear and he's lubed up and he's fighting a bear. Star Wars is gay, actually. With rainbow kids. Sorry, that's a really stupid take, but I love it. It makes me so happy. I'm like literally crying thinking about it. If you literally try to describe it to somebody who's not seen anything Star Wars, that's what you're saying, and it's so good.
He's lubed up.
Oh.
He's fighting a bear. He's gay, actually. Claire's tripling between two.
Star Wars is gay, actually. Okay.
You know what?
Also, make actual representation happen, so I don't have to make metaphors of Boba Fett and his bear. Okay. Sorry.
Let the poor man have a bath.
Yeah.
One of those memes, the handshake meme.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Darth Vader, Boba Fett, just trying to take a bath. Without being interrupted. I feel bad for him. Again, we get a lot more focus on the flashback sequences. That's my biggest issue, I think, of the episode. Like, I'm not saying that the whole Tusken stuff is a big issue. It sort of ties into the Tusken stuff, which is that when I watched this episode the first time, I didn't really get that was the exact same camp.
Yeah.
As
it isn't clear. It isn't super clear.
Yeah. I mean, you do see like the stick. I think the stick is the one that the warrior had, and the child's one, obviously, clearly the smaller one. But it was like, I was like, what, are some of them still alive? Like, is that like the way? Because
we didn't.
Very quick. Like it was very quick.
It was, and don't get me wrong, I didn't want to see the body of the child, and I didn't want to see the body of the warrior woman either. Okay, I did not want that, but it was kind of strange as to what they chose to highlight. I just think it wasn't very clear. I don't think it was very clear either. Like,
I just think it was
is everybody gone?
From
it was
last week to this.
I don't think they took the time to really let me feel it either in the execution of it.
Yeah.
Because upon repeat viewings, I felt it, and I was heartbroken. On the first viewing, I was like trying to process what's going on, and also being like disappointed that they went this way, and then didn't get the full emotional effect of it.
I was like, and then as soon as he was crying, I was like, okay.
Not allowed to make Temp cry.
Stop
okay.
It. And then there's the flashbacks and stuff with like the Jango Fett, the exact same sequence from last week, and it still made me tear up. I was like,
yeah,
he wants his dad back.
His daddy.
And then we have the fucking Black Chrysanthemum ripping him out of a bath,
which terrified me. I just about jumped out of my skin. I was very shocked. I was very, very, very surprised.
There was 2 reactions to this sequence on Twitter. Can you name, like, Family Feud? Can you name the top 2 reactions to Black Chrysanthemum attacking Boba Fett?
Oh, I'm really thankful that I didn't participate in that corner of Twitter this past day. Let me guess.
What you just said.
Lubed up Boba Fett?
No, reactions, as in like emotional reactions. So you said you
disappointed, scared,
scared. Number 2,
scared,
number
aroused.
1. Thank you, horny.
There are 2 sides of the same coin, my dear. 2 sides, same coin. Okay, that's one reaction.
The Phantom of the Opera. We can be both. Yeah.
What? Porque no los dos. Oh.
Well, I wasn't horny until the Gamorreans came in, and then I was like, they look sexy.
And he tackled. They do. Like, we stand a big king. We do. Body positivity here. Okay. Like, dad bods are always in fashion, but they're not just dad bods. They're beefy dad bods. Those
you know
Gamorreans
what?
are beefy little pork chops.
Those Gamorreans are like reliable too. Like they will stay
Oh
around.
yeah.
Those Gamorreans will go to the shop to pick up some cigarettes, and they will come back.
And they will come back.
They will kneel before you.
When he bit the one, when Black Chrysanthemum bit the neck of the one Gamorrean, I was like, no, don't hurt him. Please,
when
he
Boba
deserves
Fett-
the world.
When Boba Fett goes, put him on my back to tank. I was like,
He's
I
like,
don't know how he's
you're a
gonna fit in
good
there, but-
leader. Of course they're gonna follow you. You let you share your bath. That's so nice.
he's gonna fix the bacon that was chopped
Aw.
out.
Sweet boy.
It was a pork chop.
He was a pork chop. Ouch. But I loved the fight sequence with the kids too, with our gang. I love the different cybernetic enhancements and how that affects the different action sequences in this episode. It was just cool to figure out who these crazy kooky kids are and what they're up to. What are their special skills? So
Yeah.
I enjoy. Also, they immediately went to their stepdad's rescue. It's not at their real dad yet, but one day he'll be their real dad.
Just adopting all of Tatooine.
I love it.
One by
Boba Fett
one.
is daddy canon. You can tie that in with the previous
Well, he
conversation
is
about the
though.
loop.
He's like becoming his father. Like he's adopting.
He is.
Speaking of adopting, though, should we dive into the next bit? Because obviously, Black Chrysanthemum gets not kidnapped. He gets trapped in the little cell below, and
Little
then we have the
Rancor
big
pit.
meeting with the twins. We have the Rancor bonding Machete and Power Rangers. So let's start off with we'll get to it. We'll have the twin sequence, which I thought was really cool. The opening gate, which
She spoke more. That was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really weird that that in episode 1 there's like a shot that they pretty much reused from Return of the Jedi, the gate. I was like, oh, so they probably haven't built that set, or like they haven't got that, but they used it in the last 2 episodes. So
Yeah.
it was just strange. Again, not a big issue, but something I noticed. Really cool sequence with the twins. Black Chrysanthemum in the corner, like, what the fuck's happening? I love the energy the twins give off, which is not fucking worth it. We're all gonna leave.
Pretty much.
You know.
It was very weird. Very weird that they gave up so quickly. I'm curious. I'm just very curious as to what role they may continue to play or not play coming up, because it seems like a weird addition that it's being kind of not followed through on. But I don't think we've seen the end of the twins or end of the Hutt involvement.
I think there's 2 answers to that. One is that they literally don't give a shit, and they're like, Tatooine's Puffy's fucking set of sport, like who gives a fuck? Like,
they're right.
We've got better things to do. More likely, number 2 is that they probably want both sides to like battle each other out, and so they can take over.
They can pick over the victor who's already gotten his shit rocked by another client or another crime syndicate.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
I'm still not completely convinced that the Pikes are working by themselves.
No, I'm not either.
I think we're gonna get like a Hawkeye level reveal next week.
Who's our kingpin? Crimson Dawn, is it Kira?
Could you fucking imagine?
Their fragile alliance with the Pikes continuing post Solo? I could imagine. It could happen.
Talking to a friend of the show, Clarice Loffrey, who's the film editor for Independent, and we were just both like, if Kira shows up, oh my god, could you imagine?
I would be so happy.
Now we just need Alden back as a Han Solo baby.
No, I know.
I know people want Harrison Ford to be de-aged, which, you know, to be fair, would be like a fun little sneak peek at what could happen with Indy. But I want Alden back.
Yeah.
Give us Alden, give us Glee Lord, Leia.
Oh my god.
Could you imagine
That'd
that?
be wild. Oh god.
People want Ben Solo series. I want a baby Ben Solo series.
Baby Ben Solo series.
Like Baby Stay Out. But with Ben.
Oh my goodness. 2 men, a princess, and a baby.
Oh, like 2 men and a baby, but like Star Wars.
Yeah.
My only issue with that is that I want there to be two dads that are obviously like Han, maybe Luke.
Uncle Luke.
But I want the third person just to be Ted Danson still.
Honestly, a fair request. A fair request.
You know?
Considering the number of cameos in the Book of Boba Fett already, we got.
Yeah, I love how
It's
they're
possible.
picking these guys. It's like, I guess just general comedy, but a lot of it seems to be LA comedy scene, and then also, like UK comedy scene as well.
Yeah.
Pretty interested to see who they get. I swear to God, if we get to see Scott Aukerman in Star Wars,
Stop it. You're
We
not
already
allowed
know.
to joke about that.
we already know he's in another famous franchise. He's in Austin Powers.
Oh, that's right.
He plays Austin Powers' dad in the flashback sequence.
Oh my God, you're right.
You don't see his face. I think he's like trying to be Michael Caine, like in the background. But, yeah,
Oh my God.
that'd be
That's
cool.
right. I forgot about that.
Or Paul F. Tompkins in Star Wars.
Don't you dare get my hopes up. I love Paul F. Tompkins. He's one of my favorites ever. He just delights me so much with everything he says and does. Just
I just want it to be
delightful,
like
man.
Three Joys of Free Aliens, and it's Scott Aukerman, Paul F. Tompkins, and Lauren Lapkus.
And Lauren Lapkus. God.
Freedom. I would
Oh
love
my
that.
God.
I would love
Amazing.
that. But yeah, the Hutts give a gift to our good friend Boba, and it is a pet rancor. Which, when this rancor showed up, I was like, rancor, shit, is that Moochie? Like in my head, I was going, Moochie, who's this? And then I saw Mache just like this fucking Danny Trejo, and I said on Twitter, I was like, I swear to God, if Danny Trejo doesn't appear in this Robert Rodriguez project, I quit. Like, it would be bullshit. And here he is, badass, the king.
There is literally, after seeing this episode, it is confirmed that there is literally not a role in Star Wars that would be better suited for Danny Trejo than a Rancor keeper. A sensitive Rancor
the thing.
keeper who cares about his pet.
That's the thing.
He's perfect. It's like, oh my
You think,
God.
again, like Boba Fett, you think, yeah, warrior, strong. He's going to be an
Badass,
aggressive
yeah.
character. And he's here talking about Rancor's feelings.
And we had oh my God. He literally said, "What are we going to name you?" And I'm like, what are we going to name him? Name the dog. Name the pet. Oh my
Django.
God. Oh, no. That'd be weird. I'm
Wouldn't it?
riding my dad.
Some women do that in like terms of like, daddy issues.
Yeah, that does sound like a daddy issues kind of deal. And he has plenty of those.
I
Watching
don't
your
have
dad
daddy
get
issues.
decapitated.
Come on, Django.
Oh no.
Oh Christ.
I hate it.
But yeah, I love the sort of delving into the backstory of the Rancors a little bit and the emotional attachment. I love the way they're exploring new stuff with these like things we've always known, and I
Mhm.
kind of feel bad for the Rancor keeper even more now, because now it feels like Malakili had that little connection with the creature
Yeah.
and probably felt a bit more.
It's a
painful when it
beautiful,
died.
because it's such like a laugh moment in Return of the Jedi, meant to be a laugh moment. And then you think about it further, like they're sensitive creatures who get very strongly attached to their keepers, and they're sweet, and they get depressed and lonely. And you're like, it's just a big, sweet, misunderstood boy who didn't need to die like that. And you're like, oh shit, Malakili, I'm crying with you
Not
now.
bad, boo.
Oh, Luke Skywalker is a bad man.
He's a dick.
He's killing a sweet, innocent Rancor who was just hungry and doing his job. He's doing what he was trained to
His
do.
grandma was bad. His daddy's bad.
Everybody's bad.
He's bad. They're just straight up fucking around with everyone on Tatooine, didn't they?
Yeah. Pretty
Shmi's
much.
mucking about. Anakin's slaughtering villages. Luke's,
God, Skywalkers are a menace, man. Shit.
fucking terrible, man.
Awful.
Ben probably thought with that village in Jakku because he thought it was Tatooine. He got confused for a bit. He's like,
Probably.
yeah. But no, yeah, a really cool sequence. And I think what's also another thing that I know I keep jumping around, but I just remembered. Another thing that bothers me about episode 6 is that the Gamorrean getting eaten always bothers me. The little
Yeah,
squeal
he's a
he
sweet
gives.
boy.
And he goes,
It's such a sad little piggy
like-
noise.
and there's the bone crunch. So I'm like,
Yeah, I don't like that.
it's probably one of their brothers.
Yeah, probably. That's big sad.
R.I.P. man.
But Space Pitbull, misunderstood.
Pitbull is a really good way.
Trained to- yeah, he's just but really big, misunderstood. Actually, many of them are very, very, very sweet tempered, who have a bad rep, are misunderstood, and are bred to fight, but are actually big sweeties. Pitbull, big pitbull that you can ride.
And he scritches his little neck. You like that bit, don't you? I'm like, yeah, he does.
Oh, there's the spot.
I tweeted that.
I died.
I tweeted that little gif of him, and he goes, "I put that feeling when you're petting the dog in a video game, and it keeps prompting you to play the main mission." I'm busy.
I'm busy. Honestly, like I don't care about ruling Tatooine anymore. I care about befriending this Rancor and making him feel loved.
He gives
That's
him a
all
whole
I care.
dish. He's like, I don't really care about the food. I won't eat it, but the pet can have it. He's literally you.
He is me.
It's you and
Oh
Dooku.
my god, it is. Yeah, Dooku does get.
It's like, I don't want my dinner. He can have this whole fillet.
You can have the rest of the meatloaf. I don't care.
Yeah. Really, I just really love that whole sequence. The Witches of Dathomir riding Rancors. That's a story we need to see.
That turns me on. I'm not gonna lie, because the Witches of Dathomir already turned me on, but now having these hot, scary bitches ride Rancors, and I say hot, scary bitches with like the most love and respect either, because like Asajj Ventress and the Night Sisters are so attractive to me. They're so hot. They're just so, but they'll do some crazy sorcery nonsense and cut you up in a second. And if that happens, that's how I'm meant to go. Like, I don't care.
I'm like an eyebrow. I'm a simp. I'm like pre-transformation Savage. Full on simp, baby. I do what you want. Don't hurt my brother.
Oh my god.
The other thing I really
Clever.
liked was the holiday special nod.
Yes, that he's ridden beasts 10 times his size. Where did you do that, Boba? Where did you do that? Silly boy.
You crazy little fucker. Really cool. I loved it. And then we have I like the idea that Daddy Trejo might be staying around for a little bit longer as well.
I love it. I love it so much. And I'm so happy for him because that's totally something that. How cool is that? I don't think Danny Trejo could have ever imagined himself being in a Star Wars because he's just. And I know a lot of people are very much like, I've seen a lot of people in other Star Wars projects being like, you can't cast insert name like Woody Harrelson in a Star Wars because he's too recognizable, which I disagree with. But literally people are just like, Space Danny Trejo. And like immediately I have not seen anybody go like, man, I'm disappointed that Danny Trejo's in Star Wars. Everybody was like, yes, Machete! Like,
Also, he tweeted this May the 4th.
I know. I love it. Like, come on now. It's so good. We are blessed by Danny Trejo. We really are.
And it doesn't.
I'm so happy to hope I see him next week.
It didn't quite feel like a Robert Rodriguez project until we got
Mhm.
colorful, crazy chases, crazy gadgets.
Yep.
And obviously Danny Trejo. We've
Danny
got our
Trejo.
machine, you know?
Yeah. We've arrived.
We're the generation that grew up. All these people like stupid boomers being like, Boba Fett's a killer and he's badass. And I grew up in the 70s and 80s and it was tough and blah, blah, blah. He's going to be like Clint Eastwood. And our generation says, hey, fucker. You're old. You're dumb. No one cares about your Boba Fett. We have Daniel Logan, Tamora Morrison, but do you know what else we have? Do you know what else we grew up with? Grandpa, Spy Kids, bitch.
Spy Kids, bitch. Yeah, we did.
I hope we see some fun people.
Yes, some dumb people.
Well,
Also the other thing about it too, though, is like, I don't get the whole Boba Fett, not my Boba Fett. The dude got oopsied into the Sarlacc pit. It literally could have had the Curb Your Enthusiasm music behind it. It was so goofy. He doesn't really do anything. Guess what happens? Guess who catches Han Solo? Not really Boba Fett. like he follows him to Cloud City, but Darth Vader kind of catches Boba Fett. Or kind of catches Han Solo. You know? Are we gonna not? Okay, whatever.
He did it. To be fair, he did his job. He found him.
He found him.
And he got there first.
He got there first. He did that.
You know?
So he's fast. I'm still waiting on the badass.
Doing his job. Bad at using a jetpack.
Yeah.
You know? To be fair, that Han was blind as well. You can't predict that.
You can't predict that either.
You can't predict that.
You gotta check your periffs, you know, with the blind man stumbling around. Gotta check them periffs.
And it's a crazy monk running around, killing your boss. It's crazy stuff, you know? It's a crazy day. It was a rough day for him.
Mondays, am I right?
Yeah, but the people that are like, oh yeah, but I grew up with the books. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. I grew up with the comics as well. But I prefer this version of Book of Fett. It's just more interesting.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I'm cool. I'll shoot you in the head and you're dead. And that's it. Like, there's no story there. Whereas the, I wanted my daddy back. More interesting. Far interesting. With the big chase scene with the mayor. The mayor's attaché chasing him.
The slow chase scene.
The door sequence made me fucking laugh.
I loved it. It's like, oh, well, let me check. He locked the door. Classic.
This is one of those moments. We do get swear words in Star Wars. Just to be fair, we get but the dank and But I've never more wanted swear words in Star Wars than this episode. Like straight up, like, fuckers, close the door. Catch that prick, people hate the chase sequence. I loved it.
I thought it was fun. Yeah.
I like the kids. I like the fact that he's hired.
I don't like chase scenes, but it was fine for me.
People didn't like it because the colors of the speeders, which, again, people say this isn't Star Wars. First of all, George Lucas would disagree with and laugh in your face. It's absolutely Star Wars. Star Wars is very much inspired by that era that George Lucas grew up in and loved. Check out something called American Graffiti.
Cute little flick.
Pod racing. Like, that's the thing that made me laugh. It's like, yeah, why would the planet's biggest center for colorful racing have colorful racers around?
Right. The Boonta Eve Classics right up the road,
It's literally like NASCAR. It's like having a big NASCAR arena and being like, why are there colorful cars nearby? Weird. Like,
who would have brought one of those here?
Also,
doesn't make sense.
What's wrong with colors? It reminded me.
Yeah.
I think it's a cultural mix-up of two things. It was counterculture because like they've got the Joan Jett hair, so they've been inspired by different sort of countercultural references. The idea of the new wave of Tatooine rebelling against the old wave of how things were done, and Boba Fett's like, yeah, sure, I'll use that energy for my own need. Like I said, like the Joan Jett look, the punk style.
Yeah.
But also, at least I think personally, if you're not from the UK, you probably don't know about this, but there's a culture of mods who used to ride bikes, especially like Vespas and stuff. It reminded me very much of that, especially with the colors. And here's a picture of basically of the culture. Pretty much reminded me of this. The youth being a symbol of what's to come, that chaotic, archaic, not archaic, sort of anarchic energy going forward. Love it.
Love it.
You got to bottle that energy if you want to take over a place. Use it for your own good.
Exactly.
I thought it was really fun. I thought it was a little bit cheesy, which is good, actually. I really like that. The little scene with the two Biffs.
Yes.
The really posh Biffs that look really pissed off.
Yes.
Like,
I
what the
love
fuck
it.
just happened?
And the pit droid that gets knocked out of the way and pops back up. Also,
love
think
the
about
pit
it.
droid.
We have had now 3 episodes with the mayor's major domo in there. If that guy is in a car chase, do you think it's going to be any different than what we got? It's not like he's sitting here like Vin Diesel over here about to do Fast 9 or Fast whatever number they're on now.
It's about family.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's about, family. It's about Boba Fett's new kids hunting down the major domo who's a dork. Like, this isn't going to be like,
One of my
I don't know.
favorite sequences.
It's goofy. It's fun. Like, they hit so many fruit carts. Oh my god. I feel so bad for the fruit vendors of Mos Espa because they took a major L today. They really did. So much fruit flying all over the place, and their little stands are all broken. I was worried. I just kept thinking, like, don't keep hitting the fruit stands.
They were Melu run over.
God damn it, Charlie.
Yeah. So I was going to do it. Before anyone asks what I'm doing, I'm about to prove, not prove, but I'm about to show you something. One of my favorite sequences in the episode.
You're going to
when they-
reenact it with your action figures?
Yeah. When the speeder does the, and then we just see
He just
Little-
lands right next to it. So
the fuck
good.
is the mayor?
Just so
Yeah.
fun, whimsy, goofy, good times.
And I'm
I
sure we'll
just
see the mayor get fucked up next week.
And
we-
he's up to something.
I like this the Star Cruiser design they had with all the, with the pikes coming out. We know that the pikes, the future and the present, is obviously catching up. Something behind there.
Yeah.
I do think.
Also, who would have thought that the criminal underworld flew commercial? I didn't.
you know,
look at
it's
that.
cheaper.
Cheap? Maybe, yeah. Maybe it's cheaper than.
They're
than-
frugal. You gotta give them respect.
I guess so.
Really cool. I like the fact that we're getting the past and the future blending, seeing like how that connects. I do expect that we'll see how Bib Fortuna did allow them to do whatever they want, and that's why we see like a connection to the sequence, because we see a bit in the trailer of him stalking, the palace. And I think that will tie into the fact that he goes off to go get the armor, then he comes back and then he kills Bib, as we know. But I also interested, like I said, is there more people involved in this? Because I feel like Crimson Dawn is a good bet. But that is all we have time for in terms of talking about this episode. So, you know what we've got to do now, don't you?
Yes, I do. Put it up.
Our favorite new feature. Well, first of all, we do obviously over thoughts and scores, but our thoughts and scores are very much different because we don't rate things out of 10 here. No. That would be too ridiculous. We rate things out of 10. Absolutely. Claire, how would you rate this episode out of 10?
I mean, we got Tim in his underwear, so it's pretty good. Also, dude looks great.
Absolutely.
He looks amazing. He looks so good. There's been a lot of like shirtless / underwear only Tem in this series so far, and I gotta give the man credit where credit is due. He's keeping it pretty tight, man. You're looking great. You are a beautiful man. You're a beautiful man inside and out, and I gotta give you props for looking great, looking really fabulous. So my rating out of 10, I'm probably gonna give it. It's so hard. Probably
That's what she said.
a 6.5 out of 10. I
6.5.
liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. 6.5, maybe 7. I'll say 6.5. I liked it. It's probably my least favorite episode of the season so far. Probably. But it doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. I had a lot of fun with it. It was a whole bunch of weird and goofy, amazing cameos. And my single new piece of new Star Wars lore is that Rancors are just sweet misunderstood babies looking for love, and I, as a dog lover myself, I connected with that really hard. Check the reaction video. I lost my fucking mind. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun episode. Still, I know shit's gonna hit the fan soon, so they're doing some really, really great setup for shit hitting the fan, and I cannot wait to see it hit and spray. Yeah.
Well,
That's me.
the like
How
way
about you,
to end
Charlie?
that. I would say 7 out of 10. I think 7 out of 10. Sorry, for me. I think my biggest issue with the episode is how short it was and the way that the flashbacks. I thought they've done really well with the flashbacks so far, but this episode felt a bit too rushed in terms of what's going on.
Yeah.
I hope that maybe next week that we get a little bit longer, like another longer episode to sort of process information. Especially because of how short the season is. I'm really hoping that we get a little bit more cohesive structure for the episode. But I enjoyed the majority of it. Again, a lot better people can explain the details about the Tuscan stuff better than I can. Again, it didn't hit me as much, even though it still does, because I did expect that. I guess kind of a depressing thing in itself, but I'm intrigued to see where this goes. I feel like there's an interesting story there. It's a shame that it could be a different way of doing it, but I don't control Lucasfilm, so not much I can do. But I'm really intrigued to see where they go. Love Tem. Love we got a bit more Fennec this episode. Really cool to see. 88 is the best droid ever. I love him.
So good.
I think those droids deserve being tortured. And fuck that gonk droid. And
Not the sweet innocent gonk.
was he innocent, Claire?
Yes, he's a gonk. What could he have done? Other than gonk around.
You would be surprised what they're up to.
Oh jeez.
Their feet. So yeah, I thought that was really cool to see that episode. I really liked it, but it could have been a little bit better. Yeah. Not my favorite, but not terrible.
Yeah, still had fun.
As all things should be. Well, yeah, it's time for our favorite part of the episode. Everyone fucking demands we do this every week. They love it. It's our favorite part of the episode. Plugging in the Polynesian spa. Claire, where can people find you?
Well, people can find me personally on Twitter and Instagram. Oh, right there at CStribs. You can catch me on the Imperial Senate Podcast TikTok. Come on. You can catch me on Broaxium every single Sunday night. I'm shooting the poodoo over at Broaxium. And every new Dr. Aphra issue I'm covering for their Wednesday morning quick shots that give you a mostly spoiler-free preview of the issue to come. So it's pretty great. We don't spoil any endings or major twists. We just give you a little sizzle of what's to come, which is fun. And yeah. And follow the Imperial Senate Podcast on Twitch. There will be streams returning soon. So don't you worry your pretty little heads. We're going to play some games, and it's going to be fun, goddammit.
We should bring Quiplash back soon.
Yes, I miss playing Quiplash. It was so much fun when we did it.
Really soon.
Yeah, we should do it.
We'll talk about that. We'll promote it on our socials, which you can find below. Jesus Christ. But yeah. Speaking of which, you can also support the show by buying our merchandise or becoming a patron at patreon.com/the Imperial Senate Podcast. All links are available and found in the description below. As for me, you can find me on Twitter at CMWASHBY and on Instagram at CharlieMWAshby. You can support me on Patreon/Ko-fi, the links of which are available on my Twitter bio through my Linktree URL, as seen here. So yeah, if you want to follow and support me, you can do so by going there. You can see my other podcasts, and you can see how you can support me on all different platforms. Don't forget to follow our good friend Nikki, aka the other co-host who isn't with us, sadly, at Niquitius on Twitter and at Nictifer on Instagram. That's all we've got
We
time
miss
for this
you.
week. Yes, we love you. We missed you. And you can find all this stuff on these Twitter bios as well. But yeah, that's what we've got time for this week. Until next time, see ya.